Hi, I'm Reggie Rivers, your host for the Virtual Icebreaker Gala of the Eating Disorder Foundation. Tonight, you'll learn something about eating disorders. You'll also have a chance to support an organization that works hard to break the silence about eating disorders and to help rebuild the lives of those who struggle with these illnesses. We'll be starting soon. If you haven't registered, please do so. That'll allow you to bid on the items in our silent auction and participate in our paddle raiser. Stay with us. Our gala begins at 6 p.m.
Hi, I'm Danny Gillity, Executive Director of the Eating Disorder Foundation, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to EDF's Virtual Gala. We call our galas icebreakers because EDF is dedicated to breaking the silence that surrounds disorders that are too often misunderstood. COVID-19 has turned all of our lives upside down. The EDF has found ways to continue our mission of providing education about eating disorders and supporting those who suffer from them, as well as their family and friends. Tonight we'll share some of the ways we've met the challenges posed by COVID. So stay with us and know that anything you're able to contribute will help us to continue providing all of our programs free of charge.
Hi, I'm Toni Saber. In 2003, I co-founded the Eating Disorder Foundation. Since then, we've grown from a tiny nonprofit with one support group and a small office to a substantial organization that offers a wide range of support and educational programs and, in non-COVID times, operates out of a permanent facility called A Place of Our Own. As a person who suffered from an eating disorder that put me in a coma from which I was lucky to recover, my life's work has become centered on telling others that recovery is indeed possible. So stay with us for a fun evening. Your contributions will be put to good use as EDF continues to provide educational and support services to anyone who needs them.
Hi, I'm Reggie Rivers, your host for the Virtual Icebreaker Gala of the Eating Disorder Foundation. Tonight, you'll learn something about eating disorders. You'll also have a chance to support an organization that works hard to break the silence about eating disorders and to help rebuild the lives of those who struggle with these illnesses. We'll be starting soon. If you haven't registered, please do so. That'll allow you to bid on the items in our silent auction and participate in our paddle raiser. Stay with us. Our gala begins at 6 p.m. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first ever virtual Icebreaker Gala for the Eating Disorder Foundation. I'm Reggie Rivers, former Denver Bronco, and I'll be your host for this evening. And I'm excited to be here. You know, normally we'd be gathered in a hotel ballroom for this event, but that's not possible right now. So here we are in this sound studio and gathering virtually to celebrate the work that Eating Disorder Foundation is doing. So tonight, we appreciate you being here and making this a priority for you. Here's what we're going to learn about the important work the Eating Disorder Foundation does. We're going to understand why that work is so important, and we're going to have an opportunity for all of you to get involved to help address this difficult problem. So I know that for most of us, when we hear the phrase eating disorder, we immediately have an image in our head of people who suffer from anorexia or bulimia, and that's because we're uneducated about how broad this problem really is. There are more than 30 million people in the United States who suffer from different types of eating disorders. In one of the first conversations that I had with the EDF team, they asked me if I had known anyone who suffered from an eating disorder, and I said, no, I don't think I have. And then as the conversation continued and we started talking about what eating disorders were and what are some of the social pressures that help create them, I realized that I had spent a significant chunk of my life surrounded by men who have suffered from eating disorders, including myself. I played in the NFL for 6 years, and there's so much obsession about what our weight is when you're in the NFL, and I never really thought about it as an eating disorder. I never thought about the fact that I had a target weight that I was supposed to hit, and for me, my target weight was 222 pounds. At the time, you know, I'm much bigger than that now. I'd love to go back to it. But at the time, my natural weight was like 210, 212, somewhere around there. And so this 222 became the number that I had to hit all the time. And we get weighed in all the time. We get fined if we're not on our right weight. And just the adaptations, the extreme adaptations that we all made to our diets to try to adhere to these somewhat arbitrarily chosen weights. They weren't chosen by some scientific method. My position coach said, I think you should be 222 pounds. And so then that became the weight that I was chasing. And so as I learned more about eating disorders, I started to understand that, yeah, many of us have been either exposed ourselves or know people in our families or in our circles of friends who are suffering from these types of disorders. And the Eating Disorder Foundation is doing a lot to educate and to help solve these problems. So at the time, that all seemed normal, but now this issue is something that impacts tens of millions of people, and we're going to learn more about it tonight. So we couldn't do this without the support of our sponsors, so we want to give a big shout out to our Glacier sponsor, which is Collegiate Peaks Bank. Thank you so much for your leadership and sponsorship. We appreciate you. We also want to thank our ROC sponsors, the Eating Recovery Center Insight and Behavioral Health, ED Care, Forte Analytics, and the Huney family. Thank you for all of your support and commitment to EDF. I want to thank all of our other sponsors as well. We appreciate you. Quick reminder, our silent auction will close at 10 p.m. Mountain Time this evening. So wherever you're watching in the United States or in the world, we thank you for being here. Our silent auction will close at 10 p.m. Mountain Time. All right, next up, we've got a special message from EDF Executive Director Danny Gillady and Program Director Sabrina Skanga.
Thanks, Reggie. I'm Danny Gillady. As Executive Director of the Eating Disorder Foundation, it is my pleasure to welcome you to EDF's first virtual gala. I'd like to thank our leading sponsor, Collegiate Peaks Bank, and our many other generous sponsors. They have made this evening possible. Considerations of health and safety led us to move our annual gala online. Thank you for making the adjustment with us. Tonight is vitally important for EDF. Nearly half of our funds derive from our gala. EDF offers all of its services, support groups, educational efforts, mentorship programs, school visits, workshops, and more at no cost to those we serve. Services are free, but not to EDF. That's why we're here this evening. Your contributions enable us to address the needs of those who are affected by an illness that is too often overlooked.
I'm Sabrina Skanga, EDF's Program Director. I'll be telling you how EDF has met the terrible disruptions of COVID-19. Many outside the world of eating disorders are shocked to learn that they affect more than 30 million people in the United States. They have one of the highest mortality rates of any mental illness. Eating disorders thrive on isolation and silence. As COVID-19 began to force quarantines and social distancing, we immediately understood that we could not abandon those who rely on us, especially when they might be feeling more alone than ever.
At first, we expected to serve those who already utilize our services, but expanding into the virtual world surprised us. Not only were we able to connect with our existing members, but attendance began to show phenomenal growth and amazing new geographical reach.
Suddenly, we were able to offer support groups to people in every state, as well as in other countries. At the beginning of the year, no one expected EDF to reach the United Kingdom, Israel, Brazil, or Japan, to name a few, but we did.
Again and again, those who are new to EDF told us they had never found anything like our support groups. No such services were available where they reside.
Our recent experiences points to the unique quality of what EDF does. There's a growing need for forums in which those who suffer from eating disorders and their family and friends can share experiences and support one another. Once we're able to resume in-person activities, we will. EDF will adopt a hybrid approach that makes room for both virtual and in-person programs. We miss seeing so many of you day to day.
So please join as we continue the work to which our staff, volunteers, and board are so deeply committed, combating an illness that knows no ethnic, economic, gender, or racial boundaries. Now I'd like to turn your attention to a short animation created by Anne Shelley. Thank you, Anne, for helping us to tell our story in such a lively way. You'll also hear from a few people who understand how essential EDF's support groups have become. And again, thank you for joining us this evening.
Eating disorders win in isolation.
It's something that's not as much mental or emotional or even physical. It starts to come into a spirituality for me.
My eating disorder never was or is shameful.
I remember the first time that we joined the group.
And my recovery does not have to be done in solitude.
At that time, we were honestly terrified.
There are minimal resources for siblings,
We were scared to death for our daughter's health.
even in a big city like Chicago.
I felt accepted and supported in a way that I had never felt before.
Reaching out for additional support felt like a failure in my recovery and a weakness on who I am as a person.
My sister suffers from an eating disorder.
It was me against a beast.
There are minimal resources for siblings.
The understanding, the acceptance,
Connections. And when I've been able to connect with people,
but also to my own mental health through that process.
I don't ever have to walk this road of recovery alone again.
EDF virtual support groups have given me space to air my grief, my guilt, my disordered compulsions, and my motivation to stay and fight for recovery.
The Friends and Family group is the only free resource I found that breaks the isolation for friends and family of loved ones fighting ED.
so when it comes to connecting with my spirituality and others on that level within EDF, the facilitators played a big role in that. I would say because they were so good at prompting questions, they would tune in.
Being given the opportunity to walk with others on this journey as a mentor has brought my recovery meaning and increased my capacity for healing.
This group was the first place that I spoke openly about my struggle to understand my wife's ED and my proper role in it.
When we called into that first meeting and we listened to the families begin to talk, we realized that we were very normal. We were dealing with the same emotions, the same issues that all the other families were dealing with.
My relationship with my sister has gotten much more real and authentic and connected since my experience of joining the EDF Friends and Family Support Group.
when my husband and I first started attending the Family and Friends Support Group at EDF, we did not realize that they would become our family and friends.
Wow, so those are amazing stories, and we appreciate all those people sharing. And what you hear in that video is just about acceptance and community and understanding and a lack of shame and the ability to talk to others who are going through the same thing that they're going through. That's what EDF provides to people in our community. And so that's why we're here tonight. You've heard what this is all about. You understand why it's important, and now it's time for all of us to get involved. And we're going to do a paddle raiser right now, and it's a time for each of you. I hope that each of you will make a contribution tonight at a level that matches your means and matches your commitment to this organization. We're going to go through different levels. We're going to start high, and we're going to work our way down. Individually, any one of us can only do so much, but together as a team, we can make a big difference for EDF and the people that they serve. And remember, all the services are free, and so they fund them through the generous donations of people like you who are tuning in tonight. And so we're going to start off at $20,000, and if anyone would like to donate $20,000, please click the link that's on your screen right now and make that contribution. And I see here that we have Steve and Nanette Shelley on my iPad here. Thank you for your $20,000 donation. Thank you, Steve and Nanette. And Danny, I want to say, what do you think of that? That's awesome.
It's just so amazing. Thank you so much to Steve and Annette for your generosity and your commitment to our organization. We could not do this work without the both of you, so thank you so much.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much, Steve and Nanette. Anybody else want to donate $20,000 to get us kicked off here tonight? That's an amazing contribution that they've made. Now, I know that's a lot of money. It's also a lot of impact on a lot of people. Anyone else want to come in at $20,000? We're going to move down a notch in the ladder, down to the $10,000 level. And Sabrina, what would $10,000 mean for your organization?
This level of donation is how we can increase the reach in our support programming, which is the cornerstone of the work that we do here at EDF. Just this year, we were able to transition 14 support groups into a virtual platform. This allowed us to not only reach people nationally, but on an international level. I want to remind everyone, it's not just young girls who struggle with this illness. Anyone can be suffering from an eating disorder. We have support groups for men, for people in the LGBTQ+ community, and for individuals over the age of 30. Time and time again, we see people reaching out to us in their 50s and 60s saying they've been looking for decades for some kind of connection and support, someone who understands, and they haven't been able to find that until they find our support groups.
Well, that's wonderful. They have found it now in EDF, and we have found support here. Vern and Andrea Singleton, thank you so much for your $10,000 gift. Tony Saber, thank you for your $10,000 gift. We appreciate all of you. Keep those donations coming. Anybody else want to join in at the $10,000 level? Makes a huge difference. Your money goes a long way. And remember, the services that they provide are free to the recipients. All right, we're going to move down another notch on the ladder to the $5,000 level. Anyone want to donate $5,000? And Danny, back to you. What does $5,000 mean for your organization?
Yeah, Reggie, a gift of this size helps with our practicum supervision program. The Eating Disorder Foundation is the only site in the Denver area focusing on eating disorders. We provide hands-on experience for students in the counseling field. And providing them with clinical supervision, we're able to guide and train future clinicians. We strongly believe that the more people we can educate, the more people we can help.
That's wonderful. The more people you can educate, the more people you can help. And they say about leaders, as leaders don't build more followers, leaders create more leaders. And that's definitely what EDF does with their education. Anyone at $5,000, please, if you'd like to make a donation, do that now. We are going to move down another level to $2,500. And Sabrina, again, back to you. What does $2,500 mean for your organization?
Thank you. This helps us extend our educational program within the school system. We bring in resources and we deliver presentations to all ages of students. We also talk with counselors, teachers, and parents because we know that early education and preventative measures has a very strong impact on someone's lasting recovery. We have to have these conversations in the school setting, and EDF brings a safe place to do that.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much. And while you were talking, Martha Cachette made a $5,000 donation. Thank you so much, Martha, for your contribution. Anyone else at $2,500 tonight? I'm looking in our spreadsheet here, or our iPad. All right. Get those donations in, please. We'll continue here. We're going to go down to $1,000 now. And Danny, what would $1,000 mean for your organization?
A gift at this level is vitally important for our programming. One program we are deeply passionate about is our mentorship program. This unique opportunity connects people from all over the country for peer-to-peer support. Our mentors use their own lived experience to help guide others on their own healing journeys. At any given time, we have about 50 participants, and once again, this program highlights the power of one-to-one connection.
Now, I don't know if any of you heard that, but a train just went by outside. That train is excited about how much fundraising you guys are doing, so they're helping us to celebrate. We want to say thank you to Stan Kleinsteiber for a $1,000 donation. Thank you very much. To Nancy Inhart, does that sound right? For $1,000, thank you. Thomas Kearns at $1,000. We appreciate you. Liam Gerard at $1,000. Kim Olson at $1,000. Thank you so much. We appreciate your generous support tonight. Anyone else at $1,000 tonight? We have Patrick Zollner at $1,000. Thank you, Patrick. We have Avner Gillity. Hey, you might know that person, Danny. Sounds like it might be in your family. Thank you for your $1,000 donation. Sherry Axelrod, thank you for your $1,000 contribution. Anyone else at $1,000 tonight? Natalie Jansen, thank you for your $1,000 gift. We appreciate you. Anyone else at $1,000 tonight? And let me let you know where we are right now. So far tonight, we have raised $60,656 for the Eating Disorder Foundation, and we're not done. So we've just gone through all the levels down to 1,000. Now, our last few levels, we're going to put up all of the levels on the screen that you could donate at any level, but for the $500, $250, and $100 levels, we want to see if we can build some teams to produce some $1,000 increments so that we keep raising another $1,000 and another $1,000 for the Eating Disorder Foundation. So every 2 gifts at $500 is another $1,000 for EDF. Every 4 gifts at $250 is another $1,000 for EDF. Every $100 gift, or 10 gifts at $100 is another $1,000 for EDF. Will you be part of one of these teams that's going to help produce another $1,000 for EDF? Well, as we were talking here, we just got another $2,000 in. We're at $62,000 raised so far. I want to say thank you to T.R. Rice for $250, Jason Kazakas for $250, and I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's name. My last name is Rivers. I can't pronounce anything that's more complicated than that. Veronica Geller, thank you for $250. Steve Lenzo for $500. Thank you so much. Meg Tobler came in at $1,000. We appreciate you. Please keep those donations coming. We're at $64,000 right now. I wonder, I mean, it just take a little bit to get us over 65. Can we do that right now? Can we get a few more donations in and pop over 65,000? We just jumped over 65,000. We're on our way to 66. Can we do it again? Thank you to Tanya Hammer for a $500 gift, to Joseph Kahn for $250, for Kay Nunnery for $500. We're now at $66,000 raised so far. Please keep those donations coming in. We appreciate your commitment. We appreciate your support. You make a big difference for EDF and the people that they serve. They couldn't do this work without you, and we want to keep this train rolling. We're just creeping up on $67,000 raised so far. Remember, no amount is too small. All the services they provide are free, and they have a core value of offering services at no charge as part of their mission to make sure that they do that. So thank you so much, all of you. We're creeping up on $68,000. We'll check in again on our total. Keep those donations coming in, but we're going to move on with our program and keep this thing rolling. We have a very special award that we'd like to present to Dr. Rick Bishop right now.
Almost from the beginning, Greg and Patty Huney have been 2 of EDF's most important benefactors. In 2016, we lost Greg to pancreatic cancer. The Greg Huney Award provides EDF with an opportunity to honor Greg's memory by recognizing significant achievements in the field of eating disorders. This year's award goes to a man who has devoted his career to the treatment and care of those who suffer. His kindness, vision, and dedication to the field has left a tremendous impact. Dr. Emmett Bishop is the co-founder of Eating Recovery Center in Denver. He has written and lectured nationally and internationally on eating disorders and their treatment. He has served on many boards and has received multiple awards. Dr. Bishop has dedicated his life to helping people who suffer from eating disorders and has distinguished himself in the field. He is beloved and respected not only by his colleagues, but by his patients and their families as well. Thank you so much for all that you have done for our community, and congratulations, Dr. Bishop.
Well, thank you so much. I feel very honored to receive this award, especially when I consider the people who have gotten it before me too. But I have deepest respect to the Huney family. They have done so much to support the work of the Eating Disorder Foundation, and of course the Eating Disorder Foundation itself, which has done marvelous work, especially with some of the patients I've worked with over the years. I can't say enough about it. So I'm deeply indebted to all the people that have worked with me and contributed to my work too. So thank you so much for this award.
Well, that is wonderful. Congratulations, Dr. Bishop. And you mentioned the Huney family, and while you were speaking, Patty Huney donated $10,000 to EDF. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, we're at $92,000 raised so far for this organization. Can we get this thing over $100,000? Please keep those donations coming in. Thank you again to the Huney family for your leadership and support. All right, so we're going to move on and do our live auction. We have 4 amazing live auction items for you this evening. And the first one is going to be a $1,500 gift certificate for a Rad Power Bike. And so this is an electric bike. Rad Power Bike's mission is to offer an unrivaled customer experience with radical electric bikes that are built for everything and priced for everyone. It's a great form of transportation. It's energy efficient, enjoyable, accessible to all. For off-road adventures to daily commuting, Rad Power Bikes is just the e-bike to suit your needs. So right now, our current bid is at $1,250. The next bid is $1,350. Denise St. Vrain Perkins is in the lead right now. Please get your bids in. This power bike is you're going to get a gift certificate that will allow you to get the bike of your choice. You can apply that certificate to whatever bike you'd like, whatever style you like, and it'll be a fit for you. So please, we appreciate EDF's board of directors for supplying this item. Okay, we're going to continue on. This item will close in a little bit, so get your bids in on this item. All right, next up we have a Todd Reed bracelet. This is an exquisite and delicate bangle bracelet with white brilliant cut diamonds in sterling silver with patina, perfect with jeans, professional or formal wear, lovely stacked with other bracelets. Using sustainable materials such as recycled metal and raw diamonds, Todd Reed has been redefining luxury jewelry for more than 20 years. His raw diamonds are still considered to be among the most revolutionary design steps that the jewelry industry has taken. All of his pieces are hand fabricated at his Pearl Street, Boulder, Colorado studio by a team of exceptional goldsmiths working under his guidance. Authentication document will be included in this. Our next bid right now is $2,250. Richard Fry in the lead at $2,000 on this item. Remember, this is a $5,800 value. This is an amazing piece. Thank you to Todd Reed for donating this. And remember, this bracelet will be sized to fit you. So whoever it is who wins this, they'll make sure it is fit to size. The next bid on this is $2,250. Get your bids in. This will close in just a little bit. All right, we're going to move on to item number 3, our Shaver Ramsey rug. And I want to say thank you to Shaver Ramsey owners Paul Ramsey and Elizabeth Vaco. They have donated a rug to EDF every year from the beginning, and they continue to support this organization. Now, Shaver Ramsey specializes in only the finest, from the new premier rugs being woven today to an extensive selection of collectible and decorative antique carpets. They're world-renowned for their collection of tribal weavings and textiles. This beautiful hand-woven rug that we're auctioning off tonight was made in Afghanistan. It's hand-spun wool, all-natural plant dyes. It's from Northwest Persian design, gorgeous colors, bold design. The size is 9 feet 1 inch by 12 feet 3 inches. It includes delivery and installation. And if you don't want this particular rug, you can exchange it for another one that's in stock, not on consignment, and they'll credit the amount of your winning bid to that. Tony Saber right now is in the lead at $3,500. If you would like to make a bid on that, the bid right now is at $3,750. So please continue to make your bids on that. Thank you again to Shaver Ramsey for your continued support of EDF year after year. All right, item number 4 is the EDF Signature Birdhouse. Now, this is a one-of-a-kind birdhouse that will be painted by artist Thomas Joseph, exclusively for the winning bidder. Now, when EDF project auctioneer rendered the west elevation of the building, he noticed a resemblance to a classic birdhouse. So each year, EDF finds a guest artist to create a one-of-a-kind birdhouse to present EDF Support Center. It's a symbol of a shelter that provides warmth and safety for both our feathered and unfeathered friends. It's a stopping place on the flight to recovery. Now, you will collaborate with artist Thomas Joseph to create a one-of-a-kind piece of art. He's traveled the world. His work is included in the collections of President and Mrs. Jimmy Carter in Georgia, Governor Jerry Brown in California, and Frank Sinatra Jr. in Los Angeles. So this birdhouse was constructed by EDF architect Jonathan Saber. It'll be painted by Thomas Joseph. Is a one-of-a-kind priceless memory. The dimensions are 16 inches by 14 inches by 18.5 inches. You can't move into it, but the birds in your neighborhood can. All right, Tony Saber is in the lead on this one too at $750. Thank you again to Jonathan Saber and Thomas Joseph for donating this to us. Please get your bids in. These items will close in just a little bit. Okay, so these items, actually, all these items will close at 10 p.m. this evening, so you have a little bit of time. Get those bids in. And thank you so much to all of the people who donated, and thank you to all of the people who provided those items for us. All right, so that concludes our live auction. And up next, we're going to present the Orley Award, which is given annually to a worthy volunteer. Sabrina, take it away.
Each year, the Orley Award is given to a volunteer who makes an extraordinary contribution to EDF. This award is named for a young woman who passed away in 2007 at the age of 18. The memory of Orley and the memory of so many others reminds us that our work is far from finished. This year, we have decided to break from the tradition of honoring one volunteer by honoring 13, the Eating Disorder Foundation's Board of Directors. Their vision and dedication has created a foundation in which all else is possible. During the past several years, our board has grown in number and expertise. Each individual board member has been passionately engaged to help fulfill EDF's mission. Their willingness to volunteer their time and knowledge to help us brainstorm how we can reach more people in need, to answer our calls when we come up against a challenge, is how we've been able to make it here today. So on behalf of EDF's staff, thank you, board members. Without you, we couldn't do what we do.
Okay, well, congratulations to all the members of the board. We appreciate all that you do for the Eating Disorder Foundation and for the people they serve. All right, Danny, I got to ask you, we are at $92,000 raised so far. How do you feel about that?
And together we can make a difference in so many lives. So truly, thank you all so much.
Yes, very generous and very committed. We appreciate you. Keep those donations coming in. You can keep donating until 10 p.m. this evening. I have a feeling if you get the urge and enough of you step up, we could get to $100,000. Right now, we're at $92,356. We could get to $100,000 for EDF. All right, so I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. We appreciate your commitment. We appreciate your support. Reminder that the silent auction and the live auction will close at 10 p.m. Thank you for caring about the Eating Disorder Foundation. Thank you for making this a priority tonight. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for being here.